Market starting about 75 points higher on the Nifty, 200 points on the Sensex at this stage. We'll look at the indices, headline indices, and then we'll of course look at individual stocks, etc. As well. So first rates should start to come up shortly. Look at names like Vari, Premier Energy. These are all solar companies. We're all up a bit over 10% yesterday by close. Of course, Vari's got some news flow, as Vamakshi was highlighting yesterday, this morning. So first rates anytime now, and it's about 1/3% higher to begin the day. So 90 points, so 23,500 plus, 77,570 or so on the Sensex, and the Nifty Bank is starting about 1/4% up. 50,470, 80 roundabout is where we are starting. Mid-cap index is up about 0.5% as well. Look at that. The Nifty heat map coming into view. It's largely all in the green to begin the day. Just a few names are lower. So that's a good-looking screen. Now, of course, to the real task of holding on to what you started the day with. 23,555 is where we are starting.
Well, stocks in focus. I think the one top of mind is Honasa. Smacked back yet again, down another 15%. Yesterday it was down, circuit down 20%. It's lost another 15%. I'll tell you what, this is what will hurt investor sentiment as well. Because that's a stock that's way below its IPO price. It danced all the way to 500 rupees. Now it's half of what it was at its peak. So that one's clearly a worry. The other one is Vari Energies. The stock has opened up down close to around 5%. Now it's still down close to around 3%. And volumes are very, very large on that one. Akam Drugs, I don't know what's gone on there. But in terms of losers, that's coming up as one of the top volume losers, down close to around 4% or thereabouts. No respite for IGL, at least as of now. The stock is down close to around 1.5%. What's flying away in today's trading session? Well, the street likes the news with regard to Mr. Puneet Goenka. He's asked the Z board to relinquish him from his position as MD. For the timing, the street seems to have taken that very, very positively. The stock is flying away. ACME Solar, that's the new listing in there. That's up close to around 4.5% in today's trading session. So good up move is what we're seeing on that stock. Easy Trip was another stock that got smacked in the last few sessions. That's up close to around 2%. And Indices, the stock has corrected from 450 all the way to 320. For the time being at least, that stock is seeing a good relief rally as of now. PG Electro Plus, that's the other one in there. Locked, upper circuit, 10% higher. There was some news flow with regard to their diversification as well. Now up more than 10%. So big up move is what we're seeing out there. Mangalam.
Well, on Honasa itself, it is a narrow exit door right now. Promoters own about 35% of the company. Remember, it's been a year since the company is listed, so everyone can obviously go sell, in the markets itself. Honasa is the one that I'm talking about. In the last two trading sessions itself, down almost 35, 36 odd percent. Now, with today's decline, the stock is actually, in terms of valuation, fallen below that $1 billion mark as well, at about 8,100 crores for the market cap. 35% of the shareholding is with domestic and foreign institutional investors itself. So we'll keep an eye out on, the shareholding pattern out here, the delivery volumes, etc. on Honasa, down 16% right now. CMS Infosystems is another one which is down about 4 odd percent as well. Kitex Garments, it's a lot of these motley crew of stocks which are doing extremely well this morning from the cash market. In the other areas of the market, Trent, which was a big loser yesterday, has come back in today's trading session, straight off the bat, up around 2.5 odd percent. The question is whether this up move sustains on that stock or not. Power financier companies are doing extremely well in today's trading session so far as well. So we have PFC, REC, which have opened with a fair amount of gain. NTPC, of course, on account of the opening of the NTPC Green IPO. A couple of these oil marketing companies doing well too, and a few of these upstream oil companies, the likes of ONGC, etc., doing better. IT stocks, relatively better than what they were yesterday, up 2% for Infosys.
Well, and as we did that market check, we're at 23,600. But as Prashant has been mentioning, the start is not as important as the end. So hopefully the bulls have something to cheer. Two factors that we highlighted earlier today. The dollar index is weaker. That's normally bodes well. And the FIs are selling, but they're selling relatively less.
Nigel, we'll only know, we'll only be wiser in hindsight. We'll have 2-3 days of flattish markets, slightly higher markets. Then we'll kind of look back and say, well, that was it. That was the point when the markets have turned. And it always happens like that. Almost next to impossible to say that, well, this is it. And the selling has stopped, and that we'll know from the institutional figures. But I think for the market to have turned, I think that we'll only kind of point to in hindsight and say that, well, that has happened. Market, of course, I mean, the good thing is, even if, for example, in the US there is some turbulence, etc., here we've already kind of, in that way, paid the price. We're off about 11-12% from the highs in September. So it's a tougher environment, as many have been pointing out, and that is all correct. But the prices are also down. They're not nearly as much down as they were in earlier bull markets. But when we talk about earlier bull markets, it's like a different era. We've had sharp corrections during bull markets, but that was back in pre-2010. The last 4 years have absolutely been just one way, with very little correction. And this 10% plus fall on the Nifty is the first that we've seen of this magnitude. So, in a different kind of a zone in terms of levels, in terms of pullbacks, etc. as well.